Hi. I've been posting on YouTube now for over a year, and one of my most widely viewed videos is called No Comparison. And I posted it in March of 25. And in it, I was talking about how we might compare the intensity of our own grief with the experience of somebody else. So, I have lost my spouse. He died 6.5 years ago. Um, and people would often say to me, "Oh, Cathy, that is the most stressful uh, death experience. I mean, it's right up there in the list of of losses." And I didn't really know how to take. I mean, it was certainly difficult for me. There's no question about it. But can it be any more difficult than losing a child or, I don't know, being thrown out of your home or having to move from your country? Uh, anyway, that's that's what that article is about. And it's really, the message is just honor your own experience, because it is the most difficult thing that you've had to go through. And honor, your ability to handle the experience and the emotions that come along with it as best you can. Um, but and I still go to a grief group in all this time because I need to moderate, I think, my own experience, even though, I've done training in it and I've had a lot of years of experience living with it. And in my case, it's really kind of complex grief because um, of a number of experiences I had in helping my husband with the aftermath of his stroke and then dealing with his death and going through my own cancer therapy and dealing with the aftermath of all of that. Um, and I was sharing with my grief group recently that, I felt that after all this time, I was finally coming alive to the world again. I had shut myself away in the early years. I was working and really just trying to deal with life as it presented itself and how I was, managing and interpreting all the aftermath of all these things. And that after 6.5 years, I felt like I was starting to acknowledge that there was actually a world out there beyond my own issues and concerns. And I was reminded that it isn't helpful for me to compare my own progress with my own experience. Like I was kind of judging myself, like I should be further along. It shouldn't have taken me this long to feel the way I do. And I shouldn't be saying, I've come alive to the world, I'm feeling better, I've accepted things, because I have my down times too. And I have, even though I do feel that way, I still have times where I feel like I haven't come along, I haven't progressed as far as I think I have. And I judge myself for that. And I was reminded that, uh, this is a human experience. We're going to be up and down. It is what it is. And the best way through it is simply to accept what's happened and how we're dealing with it moment to moment. Acknowledge our progress, acknowledge our successes, but also acknowledge that there are going to be times when we are kind of drawn back to the event itself and to our experiences in managing it, coping with it, understanding it. It's really about self-acceptance. So, no comparison with what's happening for other people. And also no comparison with how you're handling things moment to moment. enjoy successes and let the other things be as they are, because they will pass. It all changes. And it's kind of, well, I think I said in another article, at least of mine, it's kind of like, the event itself throws you into this vortex in the middle of the ocean, and you're just overwhelmed with emotions and coping with the fact that the world has just dropped out from under your feet, and you're just swirling around in this vast unknown. But the analogy is that as we sort of are swirling in this vortex, we're also being sort of slowly drawn closer and closer to the shore. We're going to feel like we're being pulled back into the vortex, and then we're going to be drawn a little more closely to the shore. So it isn't a swirling around. It really is a spiral progression to safe and secure land under our feet. How long it takes, I have no idea. I mean, I'm 6.5 years, and sometimes I feel like I've done it. I'm good, and then I don't. So I don't know how close to the shore I am, and maybe I will never get there. I don't know. But as David Kessler says, finding purpose and acknowledging what's happened, where we're at with it, maybe the best we can do is transmute all of that into finding a new purpose in our life. So I hope that's a good addition to my older posting called No Comparison. And have a look at them both and see what you think. And I'd love to hear your stories, your comments. Please put postings in the comments. Like this video, share this video, because, we don't know who else needs to hear this message, who else will be uplifted and hopefully even transformed by hearing someone else's experience, and knowing that there is hope, there is acceptance, there's new land under the feet, as we progress through this process. And I guess I'm going to say the grief never leaves. The event's never going to leave. It's what we do with it as we move along in life that, contributes to our own quality of life and our own well-being. So I wish you well.